oh, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, get out of town.
But that one was animation, right?
That too.
Okay.
That it was animated, but oh,
I haven't seen it, and a few people have said it's really awesome.
Oh.
I'm not a big Spider-Man film.
Neither am I.
fan, though.
I
so-
am literally, I can take it or leave it.
Okay.
Like I could literally take it or leave it. Like Marvel, I enjoy because they're manufactured to be
They're meant
enjoyable.
to be enjoyable. Yeah, they're just entertainment.
Excuse me, but this movie, I cried 3 times. Like I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, but it also like because you can pick and choose the parallels. At least in my life, what was going on at the time, I was like,
Okay.
"Oh my god, that's me!" But I'm Spider-Man. But and then talking to people who have not only written the movie but like adore Spider-Man, they're like, he
Yeah.
could be anybody. That's why he wears the whole mask. 'Cause
Right.
He could be your next door neighbor. It doesn't matter what ethnicity. It doesn't matter what gender.
Right.
He could be anybody. He's just a good guy who tries to do the best he can. And I'm like, oh. But it's so beautiful. It's kind of hard. Like there's an end point. You'll see it when you finally see it where you have to like really pay attention because everything is such a feast for the eyes. Like there's so much color. There's so much everything.
Really?
So you really have to kind of pay attention. Other than that, I can't say enough good things about it.
Huh.
I probably could, but
You probably could, yeah,
we have time. We got we should wrap this up eventually. But yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean,
I'm gonna have to see it.
don't buy it. Don't steal a screener like some people I know.
Is it on a screener?
I think it was.
Because I don't have the screener.
Well, it's for animation. I know, right? Call somebody right now.
I got a whole bunch of screeners recently. I don't recall getting the screener or whatever it is.
One of my friends who we have a lot of clients that
Yes,
are
SAG.
in
I'm still holding the
Oh,
screeners.
I haven't seen any
Each
of
one
them.
You're supposed to like watch them and then throw them away.
Oh, you're supposed to?
It says it.
Is it like Mission Impossible? Do they blow up? Or
I don't know. I hope
they just
not.
don't work after like 4 years.
I wouldn't doubt it actually. Although they're all on DVD, so it's like I have to pop it into a DVD player. And
Isn't that horrendous?
I'm like,
You don't have it right now
no, I'm like,
on you, and then
even the laptop doesn't have a DVD player. My computer doesn't have one. I have to get
Yeah.
I have to plug in the portable one, so that's why I never watch
oh
anything.
my god, that's hilarious. But now, but what's even funnier about that is I don't get any more, but my husband still gets them. And then they send him
really?
go here and enter this code to go watch it. I'm like, I'm not doing that. You can't
Oh.
just give it to me. So it's like nobody
Oh.
wins. Yeah.
I want the code one.
I know. Oh, damn it. Well, I threw it out because I was like, I'm not going online. I just need it here so I can pop it in.
No,
So
I
I'm
want
never
the code.
happy.
I'm on the other person. I want the
But
codes.
I thought that was really smart. And
It is.
I forgot what it was for. I guess nothing interesting that I was going to watch.
Clearly
but,
not.
Man.
Although you might have been surprised, whatever it was.
I know. Now I feel like a jerk. Remember we were
Mhm.
talking about being
Might have
open
been
to
the
new
best
things?
things
Damn it.
ever, and you totally missed the film.
Might have been the next Spider-Man. Damn it.
So
Yes,
everybody,
sir.
we have gone into all sorts of stuff here, and people probably have zero idea who
That's
you
fine.
are and what's going on, whatever's going on.
I'm nobody. It's all right.
Yes, you are. I'm talking with Rachel Gass here. She is the owner of Tough Cookie Training.
Yes, sir.
She's here in Burbank.
Yes, sir.
So that is, you came on to chat about fitness and,
Yeah.
and what you did here on business and starting this and where it
Oh,
goes
God,
and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's get into
Okay.
that. Let's tell some people what your business is and how you got into that. and
Okay.
Where you started it. I mean, it's
Excuse me.
training.
Well, we start. Okay, this is
You
where
want me to
all
narrow
the
a question
remember
down there?
all those thoughts that were
Yeah.
gonna come up front. They just all fell out.
We got talking about films and we're blowing shit up.
Hey,
and-
we can talk about films and blowing shit up. We can. We'll just get this out of the way. There was going back. You have to go back because I don't just take this as like that's what I do, which is fine if that's what people do with personal training and group training and stuff like that. But for me, it's so much more specific because it was never about when I was growing up. It was never about what's going on up here. It was all or in here. It was all about what's going on out here. So I started modeling at like 8 or 9. Yeah, I know this face. But I was cute at one point. And so from that basis, that's where everything started that's where I put my faith and ideas in, is what other people thought of me. Not what I thought of myself, not how cool I thought I was, whatever.
Mhm.
That could have been adjusted if I had, and I'm not saying that it wasn't blessed and wonderful, but I didn't have someone to go home to and say that's wrong. It was always like, I was kind of just left to be like, oh no, this is what they think. This is what you should think. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So there was no like, that's wrong. You're awesome, whatever. I had to kind of learn that on my own. So jump to 15 years later, expand that a little. 15 to 17 to 18 years later.
15, 17, 18.
5, 10, 30, it's fine.
Add another year or two here.
I hated working out because it was something that it was used to punish me. Like, you were late to softball practice, go run. If you want to get deeper, you're too fat, you're too whatever, go run. You need to do this right now. You need to not eat. You need to whatever. It was always I have to do this because I don't look a certain way. And that's my visualization of working out was for me. And then I met my trainer. I don't want to call him my trainer. He guides me. I paid him sometimes to train me, but mainly I don't want to say, he tells me what to do a lot sometimes. That's the relationship we have. Who kind of was like, hey, he challenged me. He's like, hey, why don't you do a half marathon? I was like, I hate running. He's like, okay, we'll try it and see if you like it or not. And I did it, and I instantly fell in love with it because of that satisfaction of doing something and then being rewarded for it, but you're proud of it, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Like, it's nobody saying like, oh, here's $50 because you ran. It's like, I did it. I can do this. Like, I can do something. So that's where the love and the passion started to come from. And then it didn't become about like how much I lost or how much what I look like. It was about how I felt. And if I felt strong, because there's been so many moments, I don't know if you've ever felt this, but there have been so many moments where I don't feel like I'm strong enough to do anything.
That was like 3 days ago. I woke up and went to work, and I got back and was like, I'm done.
I'm done. But it's like, it became so much more of a mental game for me. And just seeing the rewards from not only myself, but to showing other people that like, oh my God, you ran? Oh, I can do that too. Like, just stupid little things. And that's not stupid, but like little tiny things of like, oh, wow, what do you eat? What do you do to train? Like, what is this? And like, start getting other people involved and being excited and seeing that they're like, hey, and when you start personal training, other people see their growth and see not only their physical, like, I don't want to say physical growth, but like physical, mental growth, their physical shrinking.
Not physical growth as in large growth, but physical growth as in their body.
But like, it was just so amazing to see. And I go through.
You're not a sponge, don't worry.
Don't just, you're fine. You're just, what is it? Someone told me you're just finding your adult body.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You're growing like a watermelon. It's okay.
So many of your mama jokes just came to the front, like when she stood around the table. She sits around the table. Jesus. But it was just so great to see not only myself, so finding that in other people. So again, it's not about like, that's great. We'll get you to whatever size you want. That's cool. But it just becomes so much more about that. And you start to learn more about your body. Like, I have clients that are like, hey, did you know that my leg is 1 inch longer than the other? It's like, cool. Let's try to adjust that because there's probably some muscle imbalances. And then you learn what you like and what you don't like. So getting back to the point of how Tough Cookie came about, I was then inspired to become a personal trainer 6 years ago.
Nice.
And you do have to like take tests and like you learn things.
Right.
They don't just be like, oh, you want to be a trainer? Here you go.
Yeah.
So I started to learn a lot more about the science behind it. And then I just started running free boot camps in Glendale, like I think Brand Park. And so thankfully enough, a lot of my friends were very nice to be supportive and come. So I got that going. And then I was like, oh, I really enjoy music. And I don't even remember how I got certified. I got certified to become a cycle instructor because I started working for a gym who would pay for your certifications. And they're like, why don't you just become certified? And I was like, great. Because otherwise, for being such a open thing for anyone can do, it costs a lot of money to do it. Like, it's a lot of money to get certified, which rightfully so. Like, I mean, anyone can do it, but
what's the certification in terms of a cycle instructor?
I know it seems so like, oh, you don't just sit down and pedal.
Right.
I mean, you can.
I'm like, let's see, I've been riding a bike since I was 5, and I crashed numerous times, and I used to race downhill and road.
Oh my God, me too.
And I'm not qualified to teach someone how to cycle a bike.
You probably could.
But
I was going to say,
how in depth is it though for like the training or this test for being a cycle instructor?
You think after I went through all that,
make sure you stick the pedals on right, or what? How do you put your foot? Is it flat pedal? Is it clip in? Or
what's so funny that you say that is that a lot of people do. Oh, I don't want to get too. It's going to get too stupid for anyone to listen to. But you do have to ride with your foot flat because it's going to get so boring. That's what I meant. A lot of people ride like this, or I ride like this with my foot flexed, and that's really puts a lot of pressure. Like say this is your calf muscle and your heel.
Right.
You can tear a lot of stuff there. So there is a little bit of science behind it.
Yeah.
Okay,
we'll narrow it down here then, so it doesn't make it so
I'm not
boring.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. This is gonna get so weird in a minute.
How long was the training? How long was the testing? How long was the training that took to become one?
The test is for you to actually teach a class for like 5 minutes, and then you go there for about, I'd say a day, about 8 hours, and it's not 8 hours of like let's sit and write. It's like 8 hours of working out, and that like they got to make sure that you can do this for 60 minutes or however long your class is going to be. And then you teach a class, and then so you'll get certified by, and you can do it for a couple certifications, Schwinn, Mad Dog, whatever, shameless plug, whatnot. But they make sure that you know like the cadence of music, and so it's really like how to introduce yourself to the class, to let the class know like timing, what's going to come up next. Hey, we're okay. Hey, take a deep breath. As weird as it sounds, you have to remind a lot of people to breathe. And then, so you get certified. So it takes about 8 hours a day. And then you have to audition. If you're going to work for a gym, you have to audition basically. So it's like going to audition. Like they have to know what you do in your class.
It's called an audition, not an interview, not a training interview.
It's so weird because
they call it an audition.
And you walk in and it's so.
It's the same thing. We know it's the same exact thing as an interview and audition. It's okay. The mic can handle it.
I told you.
It's not going to hurt. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, people. That was bad. I shouldn't do that on the podcast.
But no, it is. You have to, because they have to know you. And it's such like a get in, get out. It's like, I don't know. I haven't been on audition in a long time, but it's like that. You only get like 5 minutes to show them what you got. So you got to be your true, authentic self. I don't know if that's too Deepak Chopra, but you got to make sure that like you're you. And if they like you, they like you. If they don't, then come back again next year just to make sure that you're still you. I don't know.
Do the people that get, so you just, what I just thought about are those, you see those women. I've seen, what are those there's like 2 viral videos of that single woman that's on a single little trampoline, and she's just going, and her feet are going, and she's just like standing here with her, and her legs are going, and she's doing all that stuff, and her body's just like staying here, and it's just like so pumped up and hyper.
I know exactly what video you're talking about. There are people that do that.
Is that what you have to be when you go into this audition for the cycle part? And it's like, woo! When you're cycling and your upper body isn't moving, but your legs are going.
And I'm also thinking that other video. I don't know if you've seen it. There's one girl, she's like dancing on the bike, and she's doing this with like one foot and like out here.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can do that, but I mean, they want to see, like, when you audition, I don't know, this is going to be such an old school reference, like United Colors of Benetton, they want to have, like, all different types of instructors. So you can be that person.
Oh, okay.
As long as you hit the key points of, like, making sure everyone's safe, making sure everyone's... making sure everyone's breathing. Making sure you, like, the things that I clearly am able to well define now, that 8 hours of schooling. But also to have,
like, I
swear to God, I'm certified. I'm insured. I should just pull someone out. That you're going over the key points, especially for whatever gym you're auditioning for. Like, hey, this is so and so from blah blah blah. Like I have to say, I'm Rachel Guest. Is there anyone new? And then you got to go over the safety things with them and bike setup and stuff like that, because your bike setup is going to be different than my bike setup. All that good stuff.
Right.
But then personality does come into play, because you might have one teacher, I had one instructor who would like physically yell at you and like turn your resistance knob. Some people like that because they like that intensity. I don't like anybody touching anything I'm on, so that turns me off. But someone else might like that. And then someone else might really be annoyed by me going woo every 15 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My white girl at Coachella moment that I do a whole I just get so caught up. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, so if if they have too many instructors that are like that, I'm sure that's not what they're looking for. But yeah, they want to get all types of people in there.
So did you get hired for what you were doing?
Yes. I don't want to sound too cocky, but I've never been turned away from a gym that I've auditioned for. So hopefully I'm doing something right.
You're doing something right. Then, yeah, you're doing something right here.
Thank God. But yeah, so it's great. It's really cool too, because for any aspiring personal trainers out there, work for a gym. Really do, because they will give you the opportunity to grow in your career. Because a lot of this stuff is expensive, and like insurance, you don't even think about stuff like that when you start to become certified. You've got to think about your insurance, your CPR, what type. You have to keep your certification up for every 2 years. Like, and it can add up really quickly. So that's my piece of advice to people who are.
Wait, so do you have to have personal insurance for being an instructor, or is that insurance from the
from the guy
from the gym that you're under?
You can get insured through the gym. I mean, you are insured. Jesus, you are insured through the gym. For the gyms that I've worked for, they've had that. Personalized gyms like ours, private studios, they should have insurance. But if you work for a private studio, I always recommend it. It's like $25 a month. Or
what do you need insurance for you though as the instructor for?
Because it's like with anything that you're taking instruction from. I'm like, if you were to come to me and be like, hey Rachel, set up my bike, I'd be like, okay, I'll set up your bike because this is what we should be doing, and I tell you how to do it and you do it. Say you sprain or hurt your foot and you're a bartender and you can't work now. Someone could be like, well, she made me set up this bike this way, so now I can't work, so now I can sue you for whatever. It's just a precaution. I'm not saying that anyone's ever done that.
Right.
I haven't heard of that, but it's just as a precaution. I always recommend doing that.
So the insurance is more like a legal protection because
I don't know about you, but when you do something that you love and like are like, oh, sorry, when I do something I love, I get really excited about it and I just go for it, and literally all common sense goes out the window. So it took me a couple times, not that again anyone's ever sued me for anything, but you just want to make sure like you covered your ass.
Gotcha.
Because I just don't know the way that stuff goes sometimes.
It's
you
a smart
never
thing.
know.
Yeah.
Like someone would be like, well, I hurt my thumb. It's like, well, that's because you were, I don't know, punching a wall later. I don't know.
Yeah, and you're dealing with a lot of different people that come in.
Exactly. Yeah. So
that makes sense. I never even thought about that as a personal trainer side of thing, that you would have to have insurance in that area.
Well, that's why I always recommend, like, even if you don't like whatever company you're working for, that's horrible to say. You should like whatever company we work for.
But people get stuck in places. You got to take a job. You got to do whatever you're doing.
But it's a good way to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, get paid though. Don't like do it for free. We were just talking about exposure earlier. Like, make sure you see the money first. Like, it's
got
okay.
everything, and I'm just here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I
folks.
got experience, you guys. Oh man.
Get paid. That's why you're at the gym, so you can learn from people.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all about that, but you got to make a living somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with your Tough Cookie, you are what? That is a business you own?
Oh gosh,
co-own? What's going on with that?
Technically, I own the name, so that was really important to me. So in our contract,
it's a fun name.
Right?
Yeah.
So my dad used to call me. Used to.
Really?
Still does. I think so.
I think that's why it's a fun name. I could see that as a dad being like, you tough little cookie.
Hey, Tough Cookie.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, like, I haven't really done anything that's like too tough to be like, yeah, she did it.
Well, on the photo of the website, you look tough. You're like lifting a 500-pound tire.
If you could have heard the cuss words that were coming out of my mouth.
I'd imagine so.
Everyone go to the website now and go look at that. Just think, because I'm about to do it.
That's part of training, I think, is just cursing out everything you possibly can.
You know what? And you should. I tell people to cuss, because what do you do when you cuss? You exhale air.
Exhale.
And then what happens? You inhale.
Yeah.
It's so smart. What were we talking about? Owning
your business. How you got started in your business. You own it. Let's focus on that.
How are you here right now and not in jail? Like, what's wrong with you?
Because you have insurance.
Yeah, there we go. I started it, and that was the original name that I was when I was doing boot camps out in the middle of nowhere, up in Rand Park. And then I would train people under that name.
Middle of nowhere, Burbank.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it at times. And then I would train people out there, so that'd be like, oh yeah, this is, my website or whatever. And then I paused for a minute because I started teaching at a regular gym, and then personal training in a regular gym. And if they get wind of that, like, you're gone. Even though I'm literally at that time I was no competition whatsoever. But you just want to, get your butt covered.
Yeah.
And so I always thought about this. And it wasn't until I think about a year ago, I was like, we should really do this. Oh, this is how it came about. I was in the back seat of my, I remember the exact point.
There
So
it is.
we were going to an Angels and Giants game. Go Giants. I'm a San Francisco fan. Love them. So we were coming back, and I always used to see vacancies around. I live in the Glendale area, around Glendale, near the Americana in Burbank, near downtown Burbank. I'm like, that would make a great gym, or that would make a great training studio. And I always just kept saying that. And one day it was my business partner now, was in the front seat. My second business partner was in the passenger seat. I'm over here. One of my best friends is back here. So, we should open a studio right over there. Charge people $500 a month. It's not $500 a month. Open up a cycle studio, charge them $500 a month, and we'll make a killing. And everyone's like, yeah. And then later, at another San Francisco Giants game in San Francisco, about 3 months later, I was getting prepared to really look for like locations and spaces to open a place up in.
Mm-hmm.
And my best friends and business partners to this day were like, hey, we want to help you, because they had just come into, I don't want to say the amount, a larger sum of money. And they were like, yeah, we want to help you and we want to invest in you. I said, what? At this time, I'm like, you chose now. I'm a beer and a half in at a San Francisco Giants game, and you want to talk about this now, which is where, ironically enough, a lot of our business meetings take place.
I'd say a lot of business meetings take place in sporting events and stuff like that. It's the casual place.
Clearly, I can't focus on one thing at once. So I was like, okay, well, we'll talk about this when we get home. And it was, and
they're about to go at the bat. Why do I want to talk about this shit?
I'm busy, you guys. So that was kind of that. And then I was this whole time, I've learned a valuable lesson. Again, money doesn't make you happy. It helps. Trust me nowadays. Now I know it helps. But I was in a job that I disliked a lot, like crying before I go to work every day. And so I really was looking for an out. And I was just on this wonderful LoopNet, which is like, renters, but for business places. I cannot think of it. What is it? Not Westside Renters or Westside Rentals, but for like business places. And I found a place. We checked it out. It was like, I did a pro and cons list because I'm 15 years old. It hit every pro and then had one con. And I was like, you guys, I think we should do this. And we all kind of unanimously was like, okay. So coming from the back seat of a car, going to another San Francisco Giants game, to finding a place that we all loved, all adored, like unanimously, only one con. And then something happened at my job that I was currently working at. Literally, and then I put my 2 weeks in. The very next day, we signed our lease on our place that we're in now. And then came from that. And now we have our place in Burbank.
Nice.
I hope that story made sense, because I started boring myself a little bit.
No, not at all.
I was like, I hope this is making sense. But it was kismet. It felt like it was supposed to be something that happened. Oh, yeah. I think I got it all. Did I get it all in?
I think you got it all in. Yeah, it's all there. But what about like your having started a business?
Mm-hmm.
I know that is
terrifying,
quite difficult and terrifying, especially if you have like your friends and whatever putting investments into that. How'd you decide to kind of move that forward?
We went online. I was visiting my parents in Northern California, and we went online, and I did everything through LegalZoom, which I know is like, maybe you should have gotten a real lawyer. A lot of the stuff we all kind of got on writing of like, okay, I'm going to own basically 51%, not to be like, oh, you have to listen to me, but 51% to know that like, if anything happens, I'm the one that gets blamed, because it's my name and it's my ambition that's on the line. And then they're here to help. So it's 30 right now, the way it's legally drawn for the banks, it's 33, 33, 33. So we all have an equal say in everything that happens.
Right.
And we're all pretty respectful about, if we need to make a change, we all talk to each other and we all have meetings, no matter what it is. If it's over text, if it's over email, if it's in person, if it's on phone. We don't do something unless the other person approves. That's another thing of advice that I would give to other people who want to start a business. Get everything in writing before anything happens. Make sure everyone looks over it. Not just you, a lawyer, an insurance agent. Somebody, just make sure everyone is on the same page, because we have meetings every month of like, okay, this is where we are. This is where, is everyone on the same page? Okay. If what happened.
Right.
And the thing too is, yeah, we plan for the worst case scenario, but you also have to plan for the best case scenario. Because that's where I think a lot of people get hung up is, wow, a lot of people want to take your classes. What happens if you need to go out of town suddenly? Like what happens if you need more space or whatever?
Right.
So we try to plan for both best and worst. So hopefully does that answer the question a little bit? Okay. So that's my 2 pieces of advice. Get everything in writing. Make sure everyone's on the same page. It's probably better if you're not friends. It really is, because I am very sensitive and I try to make sure everyone's feelings are taken care of. In business, you can't do that.
No,
it's not possible.
It's not it's a non-emotional thing that you have to think about. That's a hard thing for a lot of people to. It's a hard thing for a lot of people to think about and to separate emotions and business.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're friends, but guess what? This is business. It has nothing to do about us
Yeah.
having a friendship, whatever it is. This is purely about making money, about a tool, about providing a service, whatever that case is.
Yeah.
But
you
preparation's a big thing a lot of people don't think about. Preparation for starting the business.
Yeah. And if there's anything that like construction that has to happen, like before the preparation part of it, you're going to get delayed. And you're going to have 4 or 5 panic attacks a day. Even after it opens, you're going to have 4 or 5 panic attacks a day. You can have one when you're working out, too. You can start crying for no reason.
You're like, this is why I work out. This is exactly why I'm here.
Like, people are so weird. Like, they know that I'm quiet. They're like, is she crying? Is she okay? Like, yeah, I'm fine. Just let me get it out. Just know that that's going to happen, because there's going to be I'm also a big person that needs to be in control of a lot of things. I'm working on it. I'm getting therapy. But if something that's out of my control, which a lot of this stuff is, because you're just like, when you go out on stage, you're putting yourself out there. Are people going to like you? Cool. Maybe not. Maybe they might throw things at you and call you horrible names. And you're going to hear that a lot. People are going to think their thoughts about you, and you just got to keep on doing what you believe in.
Although the good thing is it's not like the 1900s anymore with theater and stage where people are like,
extra.
Shit. They're throwing their bread at you.
I mean, that could. I don't have to go grocery shopping.
Maybe I should bring back some of those theaters if it's allowed. That would be great. Like, this is the theater show, and that I should start a theater that way, where it's like, look, if you suck as a performer,
you're gonna get the hook.
The audience gets to throw shit at you and food.
See it on KTLA.
If you're good, they'll throw flowers.
Hell yeah! Aw, the theater. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was. Yeah, it's great. It's a learning experience for everyone, not only just like the people involved, but the people who come to your come to your business. So yeah,
especially a gym. I think about that, and a few of the things you mentioned here, I'm like, yeah, you do have to prepare a lot more than other things, because you were very dependent on your people subscribing. Now, like with your gym, did you guys make a plan to make it where somebody can sign up for a month? Now, we're not talking about subscriptions for your gym in particular, but was it like a plan to go month to month, or
legally? I have to say we are not a gym. We do not. I know. I don't have. It's like we're not a gym. We don't take memberships. We take payment monthly.
Wait, so why are you legally not allowed to say you're a gym?
This is another thing. You can be great on Jeopardy once you open a business, because you're going to learn all types of stuff you never would have even thought to have known about. Depending on what city you're in, we're in Burbank. If you classify yourself as a gym, you have to pay a $250,000 bond to the city. And then you have to get permitted for, like, we have 2 reserved parking spots, but we're in a neighborhood, so people can park pretty much wherever they want. You have to have an X amount of parking spaces, like 1,500 or 100, whatever it is. If you don't have that space, you have to then pay for parking spaces. So they theoretically don't have to be there, but you have to pay like $2 per spot. Like, that's what I think a lot of Trader Joe's do. Another shameless plug. We're just gonna keep going back. So you have, depending, because what would happen is, I asked the person who was telling me this, and it would be like the old, going back to the 1920s. Gyms would take all this monthly, like, first and month's last payment up front, and then they would just close down and then never give their money back to people. So you can't be classified as a gym. So they'd be like, circus tent, go and leave. And then all these people would be out like hundreds of dollars.
Right.
So now the city of Burbank makes it to where if you classify yourself as that, you have to pay that. So that's why there's not a lot of CrossFit gyms I think you see in the Burbank area, because they have to. Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, I was like, people do that? And it's like, yes, Rachel, people do that because they're horrible.
Yeah.
Like, people can be horrible. So, yeah, I know that. So we're a fitness arts studio, which we are.
A fitness art studio.
Fitness art studio. It's so classy. But yeah, we charge you.
Tough Cookie Fitness Studio.
Tough Cookie Fitness. I do dance a lot in the studio, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, there we go.
There is you will see somebody.
Oh, wait, you have
dancing in
training
the lot.
equipment and stuff in
Oh
there.
my gosh,
Okay.
yes we do. We have so many stuff.
So you're
things.
not a gym.
No.
But you're a training facility.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So do people come in and it's just like a monthly thing that people
Yeah.
come in? And is it group or is it individual? I mean, how did you guys
We do have
decide on that? Especially because, okay, so if you're not legally,
Yeah.
you know, according to the letter of the law, clearly, which
No,
is,
Jim.
oh man, the laws just
I know.
fuck people over. They really do.
Stupid law.
They are.
They kind of are. You know what?
There's way too many freaking laws, and that's my opinion on everything. The majority of people, we need less laws across the board, both federal, state, local, city. Because when I had my business,
Yeah.
it's like every little thing I had to do,
Yeah.
going from federal to the state to the city to the fucking county. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
None of it's free. You
No.
can't be like, oh, I'm a business. They're
Every
like,
little
"Great."
thing.
It's like $800 every quarter, and that's the other thing where they screw you. Do you remember we Lethal Weapon
Yeah.
4, where Joe Pesci goes one?
Oh, yeah.
Like they fuck you, they fuck you.
They
That's
fuck you
exactly
again,
how
they
I feel.
You know, shit.
That's like my favorite movie.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. You
Yeah.
can't just be like, what is it, Ron Swanson on Parks and Recs? Because like, here I have an apple. Here's money for that apple. That's as easy as business should be, especially in the state of California.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's ways to get around it that I don't know if they're legal, but you know, you can.
Unless you're paying tax, it's not illegal.
Yeah. Oh
Or it's-
God.
wait, how
What's
does
the other
that-
thing? I mean, nothing. We don't know anything about illegal stuff.
Wait a minute.
I do everything by the book, and a lot of it, like even people get in trouble, just not because they are doing it to be jerks. They just don't know. Because you're right. There is like every
Yeah.
corner you turn.
I had to fight with the city of Los Angeles because I didn't know something. So for the first, and they worked with me, thankfully, after I showed them all the records and everything. But it was a 3-year issue. And I was like, how the fuck would I know this?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Literally. I and that was my conversation
Yeah.
between email and on the phone with one of the guys. And he actually worked with me to understand, and then they removed a whole bunch of stuff and penalties and all this other stuff because I was like,
Yeah.
where in the books does it show me from the start for California that says this is what you should do and this is who you should contact? Nowhere could I ever find anything.
Jesus.
I was like, yeah, everyone knows you have to pay federal and state tax
Yeah.
and business tax, but not when it comes down to the city.
Yeah.
Like where in that
Yeah.
side of things? But anyways.
Yeah.
So-
I'm sorry. I
Why?
mean,
I
excuse
don't
me. I empathize with that.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
ugh.
it is what it is. But
Ugh.
that is it's just
Yeah.
a whole other thing. Our city's laws and counties and all the other stuff.
Burbank.
It's fun times.
Jesus. But yeah, we do. What's the original question? We're so good at this. The original question is that we have group classes, we have personal training, and we also have cycling. So it's cycling.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we are. Excuse me. And Burbank is weird. They love their like hot cycle studios, but when it comes to just like, hey, we're gonna come in and get good conditioning done, they're like, eh. Our cycling isn't that popular. What is popular is we do have a hybrid class on the weekends that are 75 minutes long that merges both strength and cardio. So you spend like 3 songs on the bike. At least in my class, I make sure it's 3 songs on. Damn it. 3 songs on the bike, a couple like 10 minutes of AMRAP, which is as many rounds as possible. It's not as scary as you think it is. You should come to a class and you won't die. Everyone thinks you're going to die. It's like, you're not going to die. And then you get back on the bike for 3 songs. I know. That's why you have insurance, people. Just kidding. And then you get back on the bike for 3 songs, then you hop off. So it's a good break because I can understand why people don't like cycle because it hurts your lower areas. To be specific, this area down between your legs and your
groin area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your vagina. Your vagina is going to hurt a lot after your first ride. Oh my God. But you get used to it because you find that proper position.
Yeah.
So people have had either experiences with it hurting or because their bike's not set up correctly or with crazy insane instructors.
A lot of
they
it's the
can be.
seat too.
And the seat is.
The seat is a big thing. I know as a
Oh.
guy when I was anything on the road cycle side of things.
God, and
Mountain
that's
biking different.
terrifying.
Mountain biking totally different thing. Because
Yeah.
half the time you're pretty far back.
Yeah.
But I had to get that's why they make specific seats
Yeah.
for comfort and all that side of things.
Jesus.
So
That mountain bike scares me. Did you just do that out out in the middle of nowhere?
well, usually more like Mammoth and Tahoe.
Oh yeah, that's what I was reading about. I
Yeah.
totally forgot. Sorry. I was like, oh, Tahoe. I love Tahoe. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mammoth, Tahoe, and Vancouver. Those are the main
Wow.
things. Oh, Colorado too, but I only spent like a little bit of time out there. I would love
Nobody
to
likes
spend.
Colorado. No,
All
I'm
right,
kidding.
freaking all this outdoor shit going on here. How do you guys have so much to do? What is the deal here?
Everything is green. You're weird. I don't like you.
I'm going back to the Sierras where it's all shale rock and I can slip out on
no
pumice
kidding.
and fall and crash.
Jesus, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
No one will. Jesus. Oh man, that's so. That terrifies me because you have to make so many split decisions in that moment. when you're-
Yes.
Jesus. And I can't. And that's why I'm a runner. I just. Oh, I see.
There
Right.
was one race in time. It was in North Star,
Yeah.
and I honestly, to this day, I still am not entirely sure how I actually maneuvered my bike and myself through it because I took the expert route, which it was during the race and whatever happened. And actually, that was at the end. I ended up crashing and was knocked out for like 2 minutes, if I remember. Yeah, yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Stop it.
I was out cold. But in earlier, there was an area where you either go straight and there was a tree here, and I just remember another tree here, and then there's basically boulders and rocks that are about as tall as this, just one after the other after another, and then you either go that way, which would cut a good 10 seconds off your time, which is fast. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
That 10 seconds is a lot.
7 or 10 seconds in
Yeah.
a race is huge. Or you would go to the right and you have to go around and it's a lot smoother. It's just like down here. But for some reason, this way, I just remember the rocks being like, here's a tree, and you've got about this much space, and your handlebars have maybe, 2 inches on each side, and you've got a giant rock like this, another rock here, a gully and a rocks. And I honestly, I have no idea how I got through it. I really
Christ!
don't.
And I
Because
feel
I
bad
just
about-
went for it. And, obviously, it's just like any other race, especially
Yeah.
when it came to ski racing
Yeah.
or not so much marathons because you obviously know the road that's in front of you.
Yeah.
But
Theoretically.
when it comes to all this downhill stuff, you plan, you watch it, you
Yeah.
look at it, you go through the entire track first, you decide where you're going to go. And I do remember doing that, but I still am like bizarrely
Yeah. I'm
interested
here.
to figure out how I made it through this one section. But then at the end, I ended up. I think I was
Jeez.
coming up on the stadium jump part, and I think I was trying to slow down so I didn't hit the person in front of me because I was going fast enough, but I wanted to keep my speed. Otherwise, I had to take the smaller section, and that would have messed something up. So I think I barely touched the person's back tire right as we were about to take the hit, and I literally went like, that's the area I'm supposed to go, and I went this way. I landed into like a tree in a bush or something, and I was out cold. I remember waking back up, and
No.
I woke back up, and I just
No.
remember seeing people
Are you okay?
talking. They're like this
Yeah.
through my helmet, and they're like, and then it all kind of came back, and then they showed, and then when I walked my bike down to the bottom, and then somebody just showed me, and I was just like, whoop, on the video, and went, it
Wow.
was pretty bad.
That's terrifying when you're like, you have to
Yeah.
watch something to see, oh, that's what I did.
Oh.
That's that's horrifying.
But, yeah, it was like, that's how I crashed.
Thank God
Ouch.
that like everything like is here
Oh,
still.
yeah.
Jesus.
Well, that's why you wear full pads and
Yeah,
protection.
yeah, that makes sense.
Those particular things, I was wearing like full body armor to make sure, because I'm like,
Well,
in
yeah.
that areas, yeah, no.
I just envision
that
like going up one way and falling into a river and just going down that river, going down like a waterfall. I'm okay. Like,
I was trying to think. I was like, that's kind of happened before.
yeah,
Not-
that's Jesus.
it's kind of happened before, not fully to
And
that extent,
you
of a
think-
full waterfall.
Can I tell you about the story? I fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
So, and it was all ladies. What is it? International Women's Day. They don't ever do anything for a guy. I had the biggest crush on this guy. This was, you have to take it back. I was like 10th grade. Let's say 10th grade. That'll make me sound better. I grew up, I went to Granite Bay High School over in California. Duh. Up near Sacramento. It's
Granite Bay High School in where?
in Granite Bay. In Granite Bay, you guys. Up near Roseville. It's a
Massachusetts.
it's a bullshit city. Anyway, it's like
Take
really,
that.
it's really,
Take that, Granite Bay.
it's one of those things where it's like, I just, I just missed the Bay Area so much, and I was there for 4 years, and I was out. Like I couldn't, because it's even more north of the Bay Area, where you think it's going to be.
But wait,
nice.
you miss it though?
No.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. If I could live anywhere, I'd live more near San Francisco, but
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
Bay
Yeah,
Area,
yeah,
not because I think
Not
Sacramento.
Granite Bay area.
No, never. But it was a great. I have to. All right, now I'm buying it back because it was a great place to grow up in high school because it was so
Right.
so white bread. Oh, And I don't mean to say that. Like,
Yeah, I
anyway,
gotcha.
all right, let's just move past this. Mainly because I'm so bitter about falling off a cliff. But I was doing it for this guy. It was after, so it was like near Folsom Lake. There was all these places we used to go as kids to like ride jet skis and all this good stuff. And like, it's what you did. You're an idiot as a child. At least I was. And so there was this cliff. I can't remember what it was called. But we're like, yeah, we're going to jump off and get into the ocean. Yep. I'm going to go to the river. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Because there was this guy there that I really wanted to impress. So one of my friends went before me just to make sure that there was someone there at the bottom, just in case any of us, I don't know, drowned, which was very possible. I went to go run because you have to run and leap. Because little did I know, on cliffs, brush grows out. So I... You know where this is going. I ran. So, like, here's the cliff. I would run, and then I hesitated. So instead of jumping, I just fell. And so I hit everything on the way down. And I hit the water, and I'm like, I'm struggling so hard, and nobody could help me because everybody was laughing so hard.
How tall was this cliff?
It was pretty big. I don't remember. But I remember it being, like, a long time before I hit the bottom. I was like, I should be in the water right now.
One after another.
It was like that Bugs Bunny cartoon, and like boom, boom. And that was the time. And then we had this drama class in college where it's like you had to tell a story that was believable and unbelievable. And I told that story, and everyone was like, "Nah, that's not believable." I'm like, "No, you're damn right, it's believable."
I believe it. I can believe it. Partly because I've been in a type of position.
I don't think I've ever cliff jumped after that, but I don't think I've had any. I don't think I've had any opportunities to. But I'd love to. I'd love to try it again. See if I can beat the odds.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just now you're a little bit smarter to know where you're at.
A little bit smarter.
Hey,
Jesus.
I can believe that side of things. I was snowboarding, and we dropped off something. It was before Chair 9 was all what it is up in Mammoth now. It's all brand new.
Yeah, I've never been to Mammoth.
Really?
Yeah. I know. I've lived in LA for 12 years now. Never been that way. Yeah, I should go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everything outdoors.
Yeah. Is it like Tahoe? But I feel like it's Tahoe, but like nicer-ish, if that's even possible. Yeah.
I don't know if it's nicer-ish. I guess it's...
Excuse me.
I would probably say it's better.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, Tahoe has the lake, though. So that's what makes it so nice up there.
You could gamble. You can smoke.
You can do anything you want up in Tahoe,
literally
basically.
do anything. Because
you got the California side, and then you got the Nevada side. So
you stay on state line, and like no matter what you want to do, you can do it.
You can do anything you want.
Oh my God.
So I think it's better. Like I think there's just certain parts of the mountain of Mammoth is better, and then it's just more of a smaller like community, I guess, in that sense compared to Tahoe.
Because Tahoe is kind of. Remember when it used to be really small? Because we used to go up there every summer. Because anytime it was over 90, we'd be like, fuck this, we're gonna go like and it used to be like, oh, I don't want to live here because my parents think about buying property up there. I'm like, live here, it's too small. And then you go up there now and it's like, oh, okay, this is the Bay Area now. Like people from there move up there.
It's tons of people up there. What always makes me wonder is I'm amazed at how Tahoe is there because once you start going towards the Nevada side, that cliff, the mountains just drop. It just drops, and it's like, what is there, 200, 300 feet of mountain? Yeah. You just have to drill a hole through it, and it's like,
oh my God, that's probably why there hasn't been like a lot of construction because coming from the Sacramento side or the Nevada side, it's all like 2 lanes, and like that's it.
That always amazes me how you just get to the other side, and it's just like, it just drops, and you're like, whoa, okay. How is this lake and everything over here? This is freaking amazing. I love it.
Oh, we missed out. Okay, sorry. I'm dreaming about my next vacation. That'd be great.
Maybe you should go to Mammoth.
I think maybe I should experience something different. Taking it back to new experiences. What?
No. Let's go back to your business.
What are we originally talking about? My business. Okay.
Let's go back to your business.
Business of business.
I have to look at notes here to keep my mind on track with you. That's okay.
Me too.
No, we were talking about that. We were talking about challenges, tons of stuff.
Yeah.
What is it? Let's say, okay, so let's talk about the business side of things. Okay. Since you have built it up, you've got tons, not tons of people, but I don't know how many people you have.
Not tons, not yet.
But you are busy though, right?
Yes.
You guys have a lot of people.
Yeah.
So what have you... Oh my God.
I mean, yes, it's happy. I'm very thankful to be busy.
Here we go. But okay, so what are some of like the challenges that you've run into, or what have you kind of learned along the way for yourself of building this up and with teaching people,
Oh, the first thing that comes to
becoming a
mind.
trainer, and
Yeah. Becoming a trainer, everything takes time.
Okay.
It takes time. And I'm not saying that you can't become a trainer overnight. I mean, you probably could. I don't know how great you'd be, but you could.
Oh, I can't be.
You probably could. You're really good at telling. You tell people what to do. That's kind of what it is. Telling them what to do right. Because there is a lot of, and you should learn you need to learn about all of it. But patience. I'm a very impatient person. I want it to be great tomorrow. And it's like you hear all these people who are like, well, it takes about 2 to 3 years for a business to become, profitable. And like, since I'm 51, I don't take a paycheck. And that was the deal I made with myself and with my pride. I was like, I'm not taking a paycheck. Everything I make goes back into the business for the minimum first year, minimum. So being patient with, if this is what you really want to do, you can't think of it in terms of hours or days or weeks. You have to think of it in terms of years, because you have to think of the end game. Like, what is your end game?
Right.
I want to get my message out to people about fitness. That's it. Like, I
So
want
you've
it to be
already gone
positive.
into it with the idea of sacrificing.
Oh, yeah.
Of sacrificing your own income.
Yeah.
To put towards
Oh,
this.
God, yeah. And like
Gotcha.
I said before, there was a job where I was making tons of money and I was great and I could do whatever. I was very unhappy, very much so unhappy, to where I was willing to give that up and just go to the unknown. Basically is what it is when you start your own business.
Yeah.
And that idea, while terrifying, was 1,000 times better than whatever I had going on over here. So being patient is definitely one of them. Make sure that you have, this is going to sound so horrible. Make sure you have a closet or somewhere you can cry into. Because you're going to feel things that you've never felt before. Like, again, like for me, so many things were out of control, and it was like, oh, I'm going to let this person down, that person down. And I don't want to have that be seen.
Right.
Like, make sure you let yourself feel that feeling. Otherwise, it's going to come out in other ways. It's going to come out in, I don't know, to people that love you, that are there to support for you, that are there to be there for you, or it's going to come out on someone that doesn't deserve it. Like, well, family shouldn't deserve that, but make sure that you feel those feelings and move on, and know that it's not always going to be like this. Know that you're not going to have any time to sleep. You're not going to have any time to sleep, not have any time to do anything you want to do. It's literally everything you do minimum for the first year, at least what I've encountered, is to progress your business, because it's not about you anymore, at least in this aspect. It's not about me. It is and it isn't. It's about us, and it's about, where can I take our company? Where can I take us? How can I make us more profitable? How can I make us better than that next person down the street? Or how can I make us more interesting than that person down the street, or this other fitness art studio, or another cycle class, or whatever? Like, what makes us
Right.
better than that? So then you start to come in ideas, and you got to think of, you always got to be filming something, doing something, talking to someone, researching something. You always have to put yourself out there. And that's just what you're going to have to do. And it's such a pain in the ass, because you have to talk to people you don't want to talk to, and you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. I'm sure you know.
No, yeah. Oh,
You're like, man, if you could just see my vision.
it's
Yeah. So
have you found that
that was it. Jesus. There's also going to be a lot of mental roller coasters you're going to go on.
Well, you're also dealing with getting people in a very different business.
Yeah.
Because, you have people that start businesses online. So it's all based on subscriptions, and it's just getting people to buy their products and stuff like that. I haven't had to do a business like yours. My business is entirely different, because I'm just trying to sell something or whatever it is. But you are actually trying to get people to work with you.
Mm-hmm. And you have to
trying to get people into your
fitness art studio.
Classes. I'm like,
you're trying to
so that they can learn from you, and that's so you can teach them. So that's a different style of trying to get people in market.
And that's so weird that you bring that up. Not weird. That's very poignant that you bring that up, because one of a really great boss of mine, who I did enjoy at one of the gyms I worked at, was like, when we were coached, and this is what I hate. I hate this part of the industry, but it's something you do have to face, is the selling part of it. Because you want to get that balance of like, listen, here's what I have to offer you. Here it is, but you need this. if that makes any sense. Like I can go up to you and be like, this is a microphone. Do you like this microphone? It does this, it does that. $15.99. I can't go up to someone and be like, I can't tangibly sell them a fitness package.
Right.
Like you have like, you will see the results. Like if you put the work, like it's such a weird thing. So there's so many other things that I think people forget about when they're doing that you have to show, like your personality, how much you care, how much knowledge you have, how much experience you have. What does your studio look like? Like,
right.
It's a lot of things that come into play.
There's a lot there. That's a hard thing.
I just like exhausted myself thinking about all those things. I'm like, damn it.
You're like, I wasn't planning on doing this much work today. Now I'm talking about all this work. It's just gone over me.
I'm like, damn it.
60-minute session of working here talking about it.
But it's great. It's because it's good because you need to start thinking about things like that.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to like back when I was doing stuff in the park. That sounds so horrible. When I was doing boot camps. When I was jamming at the park, when I was doing boot camps back.
I don't know which way you want to take that to where you were thinking of it.
That people at home, you can create your own jokes. Back in the days when it would be like just me, my husband, and like our friends that would come, and then I would start talking about where do I want to take this, like, and that's where I think the baseline of having that emotional connection to fitness comes to play. Of like, okay, this is my dream. Like, I want to make it here, and I want to make it real. You see that little Caesars commercial where the guy's like, but my dream. Okay, never mind.
No,
Everyone wants to YouTube.
You lost me on that one.
Damn it.
You lost me on that one.
I do that all the time.
I'm definitely sitting here like, huh? I got a blank face.
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay.
Right.
Well, as do a lot of people that talk to me.
Well, it's good. You remember tons of stuff. It's like,
yeah, sure.
So in the marketing for your business then,
yeah.
You talk about, having to take videos and photos and constantly do that.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming a lot of this gets put up on social media.
Yes.
And
Thank
online
you. Yeah.
and everything in that area. So is there an area that you have seen that, is there a part of social media?
I know what you're trying to say. Yes.
That, well, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here if I'm trying to think of it right. So is there a part of social media that you have figured out that is the best way to market your business so that it's, truthful and what you want to sell to get the right people into your business as opposed to just broadly putting it out there like about a lot of other people? Because we see people put tons of stuff out there online and I have to question it, though I don't purchase anybody's stuff. But I look at it and I'm like, that doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem like it's qualified for anything. There's some whatever fitness thing they're trying to sell me or nutritionish.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Or,
you got it. Nutritional,
Yes, whatever I'm trying to say there.
I majored in that. No, I was kidding.
I majored in this word, this fallacy word here. That's the wrong way to put it.
But I think you said it. You said it in there where it's the truth. You really have to be. Oh God, again, Deepak Chopra. I think I said it before. Being yourself, because people will see that, and people sometimes, not everyone, people will see through the people that I like. Hold on, this is gonna come out weird. The people who are ready to make a change and who are really ready to do what they want to do, they will see that. They will see that if you don't know what you're talking about. They will see that you're in it just to make a quick buck. That sounds horrible. Not everyone is. I feel bad talking about my own industry. But
no, there's a lot of people
There's a lot of people that will just sell you to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
So I think one of the highest rated and the highest watched things that I've ever put out on social media has been my blooper reel, where it's just me cussing at the camera for like 2 minutes about stuff that doesn't go right, where it's like I'm setting myself up to do, doesn't matter what it is, a squat, a clean, whatever. If you know those terms, great. And I'm cussing like, oh, my ovaries hurt because they're trying to kill me or whatever. Like I'm having a bad day, blah, blah. That is the most viewed thing. And it's just me being me because that's how I work out and that's how I teach.
Right.
I love to make people laugh because some people hate working out. So if you can have a good time, because going back to, I fucking hated it. Like I was like, I'd rather do literally anything else than run or whatever. And now that's what I do for fun. So if I could spark that interest in someone else, then my job's done because they're going to continue to do it with or without me. I mean, they might not have as much fun, but they're going to continue to do it. And it's not all bad. So if you see someone that's there, and different people respond to different people. So again, I respond actually to people yelling at me and for saying I can't do something. And that's how my trainer gets me to train. He's like, but you can't pick up that 21. I mean, you can do 15, but I mean, whatever it may be.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I find is just finding the way that I train people really respond to.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully. Until someone comes out and says, I injured my thumb.
It wasn't my fault.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not me.
Yeah, So yeah, but I think it helps. Like you said, it can hinder because there's a lot of people out there that don't know what they're talking about. So
Right.
just be, like I said before, and I think I said this on another diatribe on my Instagram, where it's like, you get what you pay for. Just be very careful because they might also have facts and science behind it. But I think what it boils down to is it right for you? Really is. If my style of training isn't right for you, cool. Go find someone that will work for you.
Right.
If it's not me. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people don't hear too from trainers. It's always like,
Of course.
yeah. Oh, no, I want you to do me. It's like, well, what if I fucking like you? I don't like the way that you talk or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there have you found sort of a specific type of people that have come into your fitness art studio?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, you're so
I was
good
like,
at
I
it.
have to remember that one. Have you
Um,
found like a specific type of people that are coming in that really respond to what you're helping them with,
Yeah.
or that they act, or a specific type of people that want specific help, or is there something like you guys specialize in that you found that's more than other stuff?
From my side, again, my trainer, sorry, let me use his name. Anton has a very set, specific line of people that he trains with. So my answer might be different than his.
Mm-hmm.
He's what I like to call a trainer's trainer. Obviously, he trains me. He yells at me. And so I find that a lot of people that are drawn to our studio are people who've never done this for their first time. We have a lot of, like, again, our highest rated classes are hybrid or strength classes, which is something that a lot of people don't do. And since we're next to a running store, it's a lot of people that have done cardio, but don't realize that running, you need that strength aspect of it. You need that core, you need that lower body workout, that full range of motion, that stretching, that recovery, that nutrition. You need all of that in order to, you can run all you want. You might get far, but you'll get farther if you incorporate all of this in there. So we get people that are ready to be like, okay, I already do this. Let's do this better. Or I've never done this before. Let's try it out. That makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's those are the people I encounter.
Gotcha.
And then people, again, who have been at a certain area in their life and are here now. Not to say that that's worse. I'll put them on the same plane. That are here now and they want to get back here. Damn it! We have to make this a game. Who want to get back here, and then it's
Burpee.
kind of yes. It's kind of damn it. I was about to get up. That's how conditioned I am.
We'll lose you on camera.
Damn it.
It'll just be me.
It might be better. But like, and they want to get back here, but then, you kind of have to be there to be like, okay, well, what were you doing? What were you doing? Is it physically able for you to do the things you were doing back here? Or is there a new goal that you want to set? So
Is that something that you go with? Okay. So do you have a lot of new clients come in, and do you just sort of sit with them and talk with them about what they're looking for or where they were before? Is that kind of what you've
Well, I don't know if you know this, Ryan. I can talk a lot. So
Let's listen.
No, someone needs to cut me off. Is that I love talking about this stuff, and I love talking about because it's so I don't want to say intrusive. That was the wrong word. It's so there's more stuff. There's more stuff behind the actual reason of why you walked into Tough Cookie. There really is.
Yes.
Because it's not Equinox. It's not 24. It's not a CrossFit gym.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with CrossFit. I just don't prefer it. It's us, and we're tiny, and we're here, and we have a message, and so you choose us for a specific reason.
It sounds like you're getting more people that are emotionally wanting to
Yes.
find something inside themselves to do
Yes.
it, as opposed to, like me, I belong to 24 Hour Fitness,
Yeah.
and that's just because it is easy for me.
Yes.
Because I'm in Santa Monica, I'm in
Yeah.
Beverly Hills, I'm in Manhattan Beach, I'm in,
You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere. So for me, if I need to stop somewhere, or if
Yeah.
I'm just like, look, I don't want to deal with traffic,
Yeah.
so I can just drop into a
Yeah.
gym, and for me, it's just
That's
a workout
perfect.
place.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to, it sounds like what you have a lot of people coming into is
Mm-hmm.
because it sounds much more like they're emotionally ready to
Yeah.
start something that they
Yeah.
can work on
Yeah.
to do something.
And to know that it's not scary. Again,
Mm-hmm.
if an idiot like me can do it, I know that's negative self-talk, we should stop it. But if an idiot like me can do it, oh my God, you totally can. Trust me.
Who is certified and insured.
Well,
and
yeah. Well, who is
business.
certified and insured, and I insure all these
You are
types
not
of
an
things.
idiot.
Some aspects. And that's the thing too, is that you have to realize.
Although after falling down a cliff a few times and hitting your head on the way into the water and
I
everyone laughing at you, maybe.
I want to incorporate that into a T-shirt somehow, and then
You
there's
could just
some
have
slogan.
you could just have a visual of
Just an
Tough
iPhone
Cookie.
right here.
Just have Tough Cookie with a little cliff and then you upside down spinning.
Hey guys, ask me how this happened.
And put a little arrow that says, hopefully not you.
Yes. Okay. Patent pending. What was it?
Is that the sign to make it?
I don't know.
patent
You know,
pending?
it used to actually be to, I'm not Catholic, but
Okay.
I used to be this, like, because my ex-girlfriend always used to do this whenever she's seen an ambulance, but she's super Catholic.
Okay.
So, I do that now when I think of something like before a run, but I'll do this. Oh God. That was gonna happen.
That was great. I was going to go.
I really am sorry for that because I feel like I've been doing it all day.
That was pretty amazing, actually, how
That's
that
right.
flipped
That's
around just like
how I
that.
fell off the cliff. You
Yeah.
guys. I'm never coming back there again. Whole place burns down. Bye, Ryan.
Don't say that. Shit.
Sorry. See, but then I'll do that because I used to always knock on wood, like just to make sure that I'm so stitious.
Stupid stitches?
Stupid stitches.
Okay,
'cause
making
it
sure I
doesn't
heard
make
that
any
right.
sense. You shouldn't be doing it. It's just a nervous tick. Like I'm just
Okay.
like, oh, okay. Yeah. What were we talking about? Like so what if you're ready to watch me come into Tough Cookie, watch me do all this stupid stuff?
We were talking about more about like the emotional
There it is. The
side of
emotional
things
connection.
for people who
Thank
come
you.
in and
God, thank God.
the reasons.
Someone else is here.
Yes. I'm not always there.
No, but
Taking a lot of training through my years of time to make sure my mind is still working properly to get where we're at.
all those Sudoku puzzles paid off. Thank God. No,
Yes.
just kidding.
Math is one thing I am good at.
Oh, good. Thank God. Then you can do my taxes. Okay. Just kidding. There was, if you do them now, we're going to have to talk after. Damn it. But there is always something, like I said, going back to before about something learning. You're always learning something about your body when you're doing any type of personal training or group training. It's you're forced to pay attention to it. At least in my class, you are, because there's so many ways you can get injured. That you're never going to stop learning. Like I have people that come in that are new who have never done this before and they get so frustrated. And I see myself in them. I do, because I always want to do everything perfect the first time. Clearly that's a very healthy way of looking at things, but I see them, then they're like, I'm just so frustrated. I'm so slow. And I stop. I'm like, you got to stop. Because take a class with me. I am the slowest person in there because I'm very meticulous at everything I do. But also I don't know everything. My trainer doesn't know everything. His trainer doesn't know everything. I don't know of anyone that knows absolutely everything.
No,
Because every person is different. And you're going to encounter new people that have new injuries, new whatever, every day. So it's always a learning experience. You're never going to go to work and be like, I'm done. Like it's like I can rest peacefully now. It's always going to be something new that comes up.
Yeah.
And it's just that's the amazing part of it. Yep.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I just got to thinking about something with the training of people, because every once in a while I'll see new people in the gym and stuff like that. And I don't know it from your side of things, but I see people come in or new people that always wanted to start stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just always like trying to do as fast as they can, or they're
I
doing something
know.
weird. And
Yeah.
I think back like just towards military training is that you run through drills, and
Yeah.
this goes through anything actually. You just run through drills slow and steady,
Mm-hmm.
slow, and because slow equals fast.
Yeah.
Once it's done numerous times, and so the people that you're training and bringing on, it's like start slow,
Yeah.
run it and run it and run it and do it and do it and do it, and by the time you're 3 or 4 weeks in, you're going to be super fast on it.
Yeah.
Then you'll be good.
Excuse me. And then you can become faster after that.
Yeah.
Like it never ends. What is it? The tried and true statement of it never gets easier. You just get stronger. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so true if you ever take a boxing class too. Jesus Christ.
Just makes me think of Mike Tyson. He's like 50 something, and you see
Right?
him, you would not want to
I'm
step up
still
to him.
terrified. Woo. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what that was.
You sound like a
It was a
quacking.
burpee. It's what a burpee is.
It's like somebody's phone over there.
Damn it. I wish. Nobody calls me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that made me so happy to say out loud to someone who was listening. It really really did though, because I find that a lot of people don't think that way. Again, they want the results like myself. I want everything right now. I want it here in front of me. It's like, okay, cool. You're gonna have to take a year or so, man, depending on where you are.
Yeah. Most people, it takes a long time.
It takes a long time. And once you get there, what's your game plan after that? That's why I can't stand that like 30-day keto bullshit. Sorry, that's the only thing I'll ever curse about in person.
Is keto?
Oh my God, that's because what can you live your life that way? I also train a lot of nurses too, and they're like, don't do it because it's horrible for your kidneys. Again, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a nutritionist, but they're telling me that a girl passed away from a couple of other things, but she was doing the keto diet since it's such high in saturated fat.
Right.
And she was taking herbal supplements, I don't know what kind, but her kidneys just failed. And she passed away.
Wow.
I know. That's why you need to get all your information like straight before you do anything.
Right.
It might work great for some people, but life is, from what I've found out from doing this dance with eating disorders, with all this crap, is that it's just all about balance. And it's such an unsexy answer. It really is. It's
you're
such
right,
a
though,
horrible answer.
I know that just from knowing my own nutritional balance of my body since I was a kid. I've had stomach issues, but I've always had to sort of balance out whatever I have, and I recognize myself very quickly. Oh, we have a bit of a power issue.
Oh no, is everything okay?
Yeah.
I hope that.
Well, this is why you have a power saver transformer battery,
look
so that
at
stuff
you!
goes on.
I'm like, what is that?
No, it's definitely happened, but that's why we have everything going.
That's my doomsday Mad Max preparedness. I have a couple of anthropology candles, you guys.
We're saved, everybody. Let's go to a bowling alley.
With Ryan's car water, we're good, you guys. We're gonna be great.
It has been saved in the shade, so we're okay. We don't have to worry about anything here.
Jeez.
We're brilliant. Your mom can. You can definitely text your mom and be like, "We're okay.
We're good, Ma.
Don't worry.
Good.
We're saved.
Daughter's doing good over here."
Yeah, and the Mad Max LA apocalypse.
Yes. Oh, sounds like the best party ever.
So we've chatted a bunch about your business and a whole bunch about other stuff.
I know too much. I'm sorry.
That's great. It's great. People get to know you. People get to know you. People get to know me.
Yeah, Ryan. Sorry.
Anything else you want to talk about here or chat about? What would be like something you can let people know either about your business or piece of advice? Anything we've kind of missed? Or
there was something. Our business is here in Burbank, California, off of Magnolia Boulevard. If you're a runner, it's right next to Fleet Feet. If you're a drinker, it's right next to Tony's Darts Away. It's just up a little bit, but trust me, I've been there a lot. What is the other thing?
Go running with your feet. Go get some training, and then just get over to a bar.
Go running, go get your cardio and get strength in, and then just go drink beer.
Just don't worry about it.
They have vegan food, so I guess it's good.
There you go.
I mean, it is good. Not I guess, it is. God, I don't know. Make sure whatever you do with your audition your personal trainer. Ask what they're doing. This is if you don't want to come to me. If you're in Idaho or hopefully in Tahoe, hi. Yeah. And you're not close to us, if you are prepared to take that step, audition your personal trainer. Ask them what are they doing to better themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. You don't have to get close to the emotional stuff.
Yeah.
But ask them what their background is, why they want to do this, and what is the next thing they're working on. Interview them. They're going to ask, because you got to make sure you're a good fit. So make sure that they're ACE certified. Not all personal trainers that are certified know everything, but a lot of them know more. Some, not all. Gosh, what was the other thing? I just had it and it fell out of my brain. Make sure that whatever you're doing, that you like it. Because if you don't like it, what's the point? Like, if you want to run a marathon, cool. If you want to continue to do it, take the right steps to train for it. But if you hated it, don't do it.
Right.
Just don't. Don't take that cycle class because you think it's cool and you're going to be like, super fit and all that good stuff. Don't. If you don't like it, don't do it. Somebody really wise, can't remember who told me this. You sleep more than you eat and you eat more than you train. So make sure that those three things are in the proper order. I try to tell as many people as I can that. Yeah. Go Giants. I don't know. San Francisco Giants. That's it. It's going to be on my tombstone.
Go Giants.
She loved the Giants and not much else. No,
There's-
I'm just kidding.
I don't give a shit about anything else here. Go
Oh,
Giants.
Yeah. Oh, last
Uh-oh.
thing. This is why no one should put a microphone in front of me. When you open your own business, so this is one of the things we were talking about. Make sure you have a very good support system around you, because my family and my husband have gone through a lot in the past couple months, and they're very strong and very supportive. And they can be as supportive as you want, but you also have to have faith in yourself, because if you don't, not a lot's gonna happen. But just make sure that you have a very good support system. Make sure you have that closet you can cry to. And on that note, Ryan,
Hopefully this is not.
I know he's like, I can't use any of this. Damn it.
No.
I guess we'll bring that cat with the hat in back. I don't know if she might be more entertaining. I don't know.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Now that I
would
said
totally
it.
have a cat in a hat.
Damn
I need
it.
to get one. No, it's been great having you. I think there's a lot of stuff here that people can learn
I hope
from.
so. Jesus.
So
I hope
everybody,
so.
Tough Cookie training.
Yeah,
at her-
in Burbank.
Yeah.
Or online, whatever.
Or wait, do you do online stuff?
I do.
Or is that like a thing that you guys are looking at?
I do online stuff. I do have a client that's currently in college right now, so she can't make it here. She comes here when she's back in town, but when she's away, I send her workouts. You will see my face on Tough Cookie Training, so you can email. All my information is there. Oh, damn it! This Tough Cookie is my Instagram. Sorry. Damn it! I almost made it a full hour. This Tough Cookie is my Instagram. You can contact me there. I'm sure my phone number is on the web somewhere.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere it's there.
It's on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
it's
just
your
stop
business.
by. Yeah, or you can stop by, guys. It'll be cool. We'll
Nice.
chat. Talk about cats and hats. Okay.
Cats and hats. Cats and hats and cookies.
And
Training.
cookies, yes.
All right, Rachel. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.